What if the key to transforming your entire reality wasn't found in working harder, chasing more, or controlling outcomes, but in one simple shift of energy called gratitude? What if the universe has been waiting, not for your struggle, but for your thankfulness? Gratitude is more than a polite word or a fleeting feeling after receiving something you desired. It's a frequency, a vibration that aligns you with the flow of abundance itself. Every emotion you feel carries an energetic signature, and gratitude resonates at one of the highest vibrations of all. When you live in a state of appreciation, you're not just being positive. You're communicating to the universe that you are already complete, already enough, already blessed. And in response, life mirrors that wholeness back to you in ways both subtle and miraculous. Most people misunderstand gratitude as something that follows a blessing. But the true power of gratitude begins before the manifestation, not after. It's the silent language that tells creation, "I trust you." When you thank life for what hasn't yet arrived, you activate a quantum shift. You move from the frequency of waiting to the frequency of having. Gratitude collapses the gap between desire and fulfillment, because it teaches your energy to become the reality you seek. Yet, many of us are conditioned to live from scarcity, noticing what's missing instead of what's here. We chase happiness in future achievements, forgetting that appreciation is the doorway to presence. The mind says, "I'll be happy when," but the soul whispers, "Be thankful now." Gratitude reprograms that inner dialogue. It turns ordinary moments into miracles and reveals that the magic we search for has always been in the now. Living on the frequency of gratitude does not mean denying pain or pretending everything is perfect. It means learning to see the divine in every experience, the lesson in the struggle, the wisdom in the delay, the beauty in imperfection. Gratitude turns pain into perspective, scarcity into sufficiency, and waiting into trust. It shifts your energy from resistance to acceptance, from fear to flow. When you begin to live in that vibration, everything changes, not because the external world suddenly becomes easier, but because you become attuned to a higher rhythm of life. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop complaining and start creating. And most of all, you begin to realize that gratitude isn't just something you feel, it's something you become. Chapter 1. The energy that opens all doors. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it's an energetic force. It's the silent frequency that unlocks life's hidden doors, turning resistance into flow and scarcity into expansion. When you operate in gratitude, you align your vibration with the creative essence of the universe, the same energy that moves stars, grows trees, and breathes life into your being. It's not that gratitude makes good things happen. Rather, it tunes you into the reality where those good things already exist. Every door that once seemed closed begins to respond differently, because gratitude shifts your inner state from need to fulfillment, from fear to faith. Think of your energy as a signal constantly communicating with the universe. When that signal is built on fear, doubt, or resentment, it sends out a vibration of separation. It says, "I don't have enough," or "I'm not ready." But gratitude sends the opposite message. It declares, "I am abundant. I already have what I need." And that declaration is magnetic. It draws experiences, opportunities, and people that match that inner truth. Life mirrors your dominant vibration. Gratitude doesn't beg, it attracts. It doesn't chase outcomes, it welcomes them. Many of us are trained to operate from the energy of effort, pushing, forcing, striving. But what if the true secret to manifestation was surrender, not struggle? Gratitude is that surrender. It doesn't mean you stop taking action, it means you act from trust, not tension. When you are grateful, you are no longer chasing life, you are co-creating with it. You step out of the illusion of control and step into the harmony of flow. This is why miracles seem to follow grateful people. They are aligned with the frequency where miracles live. Even science supports this truth. Studies have shown that gratitude rewires the brain to focus on abundance rather than lack, releasing dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals of happiness, motivation, and peace. But beyond neuroscience, there's something even deeper. Gratitude opens the spiritual heart. It removes the energetic walls built by fear and self-protection, allowing divine intelligence to move freely through you. When the heart opens, intuition strengthens, synchronicities increase, and clarity returns. Gratitude, quite literally, becomes the bridge between the human and the divine. The truth is, gratitude doesn't change what you see, it changes how you see. And when your perception shifts, reality follows. Suddenly, the same life that once felt limited begins to feel limitless. The same obstacles that once felt heavy now reveal themselves as stepping stones. Gratitude unlocks doors because it changes you, and the moment you change, everything that was once locked begins to open. So, as you move through your day, pause and whisper, "Thank you," not just for what's easy to love, but for what challenges you, teaches you, and stretches you. Because the moment you choose gratitude, you don't just open doors. You realize there were never any walls at all. Chapter 2. Gratitude, the bridge between you and the divine. Gratitude is more than a feeling of appreciation. It is a sacred bridge between the human self and the divine source. It dissolves the illusion of separation and reminds you that you were never disconnected from the infinite intelligence that created you. When you express genuine gratitude, you harmonize your energy with that higher presence. You move from being a seeker to a receiver, from pleading for blessings to recognizing that you are already within them. Gratitude doesn't ask, "When will I get what I want?" It whispers, "I already have what I need." In that awareness, the divine reveals itself, not as something distant, but as the very breath within you. Every spiritual tradition, from ancient mysticism to modern metaphysics, speaks of gratitude as a form of prayer. Not the prayer that begs, but the one that acknowledges. When you give thanks before something happens, you are declaring faith in the unseen. You are saying to the universe, "I trust your timing, I trust your wisdom." And in that vibration of trust, resistance dissolves. This is why miracles often follow deep gratitude, because you've stepped into energetic alignment with creation itself. Gratitude is the frequency of divine cooperation, the place where the human heart and universal intelligence beat as one. When you begin to live this way, every moment becomes a spiritual experience. The rising sun becomes a reminder of renewal. The breath in your chest becomes proof of divine generosity. Even challenges transform. They are no longer seen as punishments, but as divine invitations for growth. Gratitude changes your perception so profoundly that you start to recognize God, or whatever name you give to the divine, in everything. The silence, the struggle, the stillness, all becomes sacred. Gratitude opens your inner eye to the truth that the divine has never abandoned you. It's been speaking through your life all along. This bridge of gratitude doesn't just connect you upward, it connects you inward. Because the divine isn't somewhere in the sky, it's within your consciousness, waiting to be acknowledged. Gratitude quiets the ego's noise long enough for you to feel that presence within. It turns your focus from what's missing to what's eternal. And the moment you remember that connection, fear loses its grip. You stop feeling like life is happening to you and start realizing it's happening through you. So when you wake in the morning before you reach for your phone or worry about your day, pause and whisper, "Thank you." Not as an obligation, but as a recognition of your oneness with the divine. Because every thank you is a bridge, one that carries you from confusion to clarity, from separation to unity, from the noise of the world to the song of your soul. Gratitude isn't just communication with the divine, it is the divine speaking back through you. Chapter 3. Shifting from lack to abundance. Abundance is not something you chase, it's a frequency you tune into, and gratitude is the key that changes your inner station from scarcity to sufficiency. The difference between lack and abundance isn't found in what you have, it's found in how you see. Lack says, I don't have enough. Abundance says, I already have everything I need. When you live from lack, your energy vibrates with fear, competition, and grasping. When you live from abundance, your energy flows with trust, generosity, and openness. Gratitude shifts you from one to the other, from anxiety to peace, from needing to knowing. The truth is, the universe mirrors your inner state. If you dwell on what's missing, you amplify that absence in your experience. But when you focus on what's present, you expand it. Gratitude doesn't ignore reality, it redefines it. It teaches your mind to see what's right rather than what's wrong, what's possible rather than what's broken. The more you appreciate, the more your awareness sharpens to the blessings that already surround you. You begin to realize that abundance isn't measured by material possessions, but by the depth of your presence, the fullness of your breath, and the richness of your soul. Shifting from lack to abundance is not about pretending everything is perfect, it's about changing the lens through which you view life. Scarcity comes from fear, and fear always distorts perception. Gratitude, however, corrects that distortion. It reminds you that there is enough love, enough time, enough opportunity, because you are enough. Once you stop identifying with the voice of not enough, you begin to see how abundance has always been waiting for you to claim it. This is not positive thinking. It's energetic truth. The world doesn't need to change for you to feel abundant. You need to change how you engage with it. When you live in gratitude, even the simplest things become sacred. The taste of water, the sound of laughter, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, all of it begins to feel miraculous. These moments, often overlooked, are proof that life is constantly giving to you. You just need to be awake enough to receive. Gratitude opens that awareness, allowing you to become a magnet for even more good. Because when you vibrate with appreciation, you tell the universe, I am ready for more, and the universe always responds to readiness. So take a deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs, the pulse in your chest. That is abundance, the eternal flow of giving and receiving. You are not waiting for abundance to arrive. You are already within it. Gratitude simply removes the veil that keeps you from seeing it. And when that veil lifts, you stop striving for more and begin living as more. Chapter 4. The Science of Vibrational Alignment. Everything in existence, from the stars in the sky to the thoughts in your mind, vibrates. The universe isn't made of solid matter, but of energy constantly moving, responding, and resonating with frequencies that match it. This truth lies at the core of vibrational alignment, like attracts like. Gratitude, being one of the highest emotional frequencies, has the power to align your energy with the field of abundance, love, and peace. When you practice gratitude, you're not just changing your mood, you're literally shifting the frequency of your being to harmonize with the energy of creation itself. From a scientific perspective, every thought and emotion you experience sends measurable electromagnetic signals throughout your body and into your environment. The heart, for instance, emits a magnetic field that extends several feet beyond you, constantly interacting with the energetic field around you. When you dwell in gratitude, that field becomes coherent, organized, and expansive. This coherence doesn't just affect you, it influences the people and situations that enter your life. You begin to attract circumstances that resonate with your state of thankfulness because energy always seeks balance. In contrast, when you live in worry, resentment, or fear, your vibration becomes fragmented and chaotic. Your body tightens, your breath shortens, and your mind becomes reactive. You start to interpret life through the lens of struggle, which only reinforces more struggle. Gratitude reverses that state. It softens the nervous system, restores balance to your heart's rhythm, and trains your brain to notice what's going right. This is not a coincidence, it's physics. Your emotional frequency determines your perception, and your perception determines your reality. When you align with gratitude, you align with life itself. The beauty of vibrational alignment is that it doesn't require control. It requires awareness. You don't force energy to shift, you allow it to. Every time you choose gratitude over complaint, presence over distraction, or peace over resistance, you raise your vibration. Over time, this becomes your natural state. You begin to notice synchronicities, unexpected blessings, opportunities, and connections that appear just when you need them. These are not random accidents. They are reflections of your inner frequency matching with the greater universal field. Gratitude is, therefore, both spiritual and scientific. It is the emotional code of creation. When you embody it consistently, you stop chasing manifestations and start magnetizing them. Life begins to feel smoother, not because everything is perfect, but because you're resonating with harmony instead of friction. This is the essence of vibrational alignment, the realization that you don't have to fight your way to happiness. You simply need to tune your energy to the station where happiness already exists. And gratitude is that tuning fork, the instrument that brings you into resonance with the rhythm of the universe. Chapter 5. Gratitude in the Midst of Chaos. It's easy to be grateful when life is smooth, when doors open, plans unfold, and peace surrounds you. But true gratitude is tested and refined in the furnace of chaos. It's in the moments when everything seems to fall apart, when confusion clouds your path, and when pain seems louder than peace, that gratitude reveals its deepest power. Gratitude in chaos is not denial of what's wrong, it is an act of spiritual rebellion, a decision to anchor yourself in light when darkness demands your attention. It's the silent whisper that says, "I still trust, even when nothing makes sense." Chaos, in its essence, is not your enemy. It's a divine reordering, a shaking of old patterns, beliefs, and energies that no longer serve your evolution. When life seems to crumble, gratitude helps you see the hidden order behind the disorder. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" gratitude invites a more empowering question. What is this trying to teach me? This shift in perspective doesn't instantly erase pain, but it transforms your relationship with it. It allows you to see beyond the surface of suffering into the deeper intelligence of growth that chaos carries within it. Science tells us that the brain is wired to focus on threats, a survival mechanism that once kept us safe, but now often traps us in cycles of fear and stress. Gratitude interrupts this pattern. It activates parts of the brain associated with joy and resilience, helping you to process challenges with greater emotional stability. When practiced consistently, gratitude becomes your nervous system's anchor. It doesn't stop the storm, but it keeps you steady through it. You start responding rather than reacting, seeing possibility instead of catastrophe. This emotional regulation is not weakness, it's mastery. Spiritually, gratitude during chaos is a declaration of faith. It's saying to the universe, "I may not understand this now, but I trust that it is aligning me with something greater." This surrender opens the energetic doorway for transformation. When you remain grateful amid uncertainty, you vibrate at a frequency that invites divine solutions, insights, opportunities, and synchronicities that appear just when you need them most. In this way, gratitude becomes a bridge from breakdown to breakthrough, reminding you that chaos often precedes creation. So when life feels unbearable, when you're standing in the ruins of what you once thought was certain, pause, breathe, and whisper, "Thank you." Not because you enjoy the pain, but because you recognize that something within you is being reborn. Gratitude doesn't require understanding, It requires trust, and in the midst of chaos, that trust becomes your greatest power. For it is gratitude that turns endings into beginnings, fear into wisdom, and chaos into the raw material of a new, more aligned life. Chapter 6. Rewiring the Mind Through Appreciation. The human mind is a powerful instrument, capable of creating worlds of peace or prisons of fear. Yet for most people, the mind has been conditioned to focus on what's missing, what's wrong, and what could go wrong. This habitual focus on lack becomes a mental loop that shapes perception, emotion, and even biology. Gratitude, expressed through daily appreciation, interrupts this cycle. It is the conscious act of reprogramming the brain from fear to trust, from scarcity to abundance. Appreciation doesn't just change how you feel, it literally rewires how you think. Neuroscience shows that consistent gratitude practice strengthens neural pathways associated with joy, compassion, and optimism. When you take time each day to notice and appreciate something, the warmth of sunlight, the kindness of a friend, or even your own breath, you are training your brain to recognize beauty and possibility. Over time, this shifts your default mental setting from survival to creation. The brain begins seeking evidence of goodness, automatically filtering reality through the lens of abundance. This is not wishful thinking. It is neuroplasticity in action, the biological manifestation of higher awareness. Appreciation is also an act of grounding. When your mind is flooded with worry about the future or regret about the past, appreciation brings you back to the present. It says, right here, in this moment, something is good. That simple awareness begins to calm the nervous system, reducing stress hormones and increasing feelings of safety and presence. The more you practice this, the more resilient your emotional baseline becomes. You stop being a victim of external events and become the conscious observer, the one who chooses meaning over reaction and gratitude over panic. There is also a spiritual intelligence behind appreciation. When you genuinely value what you already have, you send a vibrational signal to the universe. I am ready for more of this energy. The law of resonance responds accordingly. What you appreciate expands, not because of magic, but because your energy aligns with more of the same frequency. When you appreciate love, you attract deeper connection. When you appreciate opportunities, you open space for growth. When you appreciate yourself, life mirrors that recognition back to you through respect, success, and inner peace. Rewiring the mind through appreciation is not a one-time act, it's a lifestyle. It requires consistency, especially when life challenges your patience. Each moment of gratitude becomes a vote for a new identity, one grounded in trust rather than fear. Start small. A quiet thank you in the morning, a note of appreciation before sleep, a mindful pause when something goes right. Over time, these small choices build a new neural and spiritual architecture, a mind that no longer seeks what's missing, but celebrates what is. And from that celebration, an entirely new reality begins to unfold. Chapter 7. The Magnetism of a Grateful Heart. There is a power that emanates from a truly grateful heart, a magnetic force that transcends logic and draws into your life the very experiences that match its vibration. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is an energetic frequency that alters your field of attraction. When you live in gratitude, your energy communicates directly with the intelligence of the universe, saying, I am already blessed, and I am ready to receive more. This state of inner abundance creates a magnetic resonance that naturally attracts harmony, love, prosperity, and peace. Gratitude doesn't chase, it magnetizes. It shifts you from the energy of wanting into the energy of having, and that shift changes everything. Every thought you think and every feeling you hold emits a frequency. Fear, resentment, and doubt create energetic resistance. They push away the very things you desire. Gratitude, however, opens the channel of flow. When the heart is grateful, it beats in coherence with the rhythm of life itself. You stop fighting reality and begin dancing with it. You notice synchronicities, opportunities, and blessings that once went unseen. The universe becomes responsive because you have become receptive. In this sense, gratitude is not passive. It is the most powerful form of active creation. The magnetism of a grateful heart is also rooted in emotional authenticity. It isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding something real to appreciate even in imperfection. When you say thank you, not because life is easy, but because you trust its wisdom, you generate a field of energy that is unshakable. Gratitude transforms pain into perspective, setbacks into stepping stones, and uncertainty into faith. From that vibration, life can't help but rearrange itself to meet your newfound alignment. What you send out in gratitude must, by universal law, find its way back multiplied. It is also important to understand that gratitude connects you to love, the highest frequency in existence. When you cultivate gratitude, you are, in essence, tuning your heart to divine intelligence. You become a vessel for grace, peace, and compassion to flow through you. People are drawn to that energy. They feel safe in your presence, inspired by your calm, and elevated by your light. Opportunities gravitate toward you not because you chase them, but because your energy becomes a beacon of stability and faith in a world full of noise and fear. A grateful heart is a powerful creator. It doesn't just attract what you want, it attracts what aligns with who you are. The more you practice gratitude, the more you expand your energetic capacity to receive. Your life begins to reflect your internal state of harmony and appreciation. So, if you wish to manifest abundance, joy, or peace, start not with effort, but with thankfulness. For the frequency of gratitude is the bridge between desire and fulfillment, the invisible magnet that turns ordinary moments into miracles. Chapter 8. Turning pain into presence through gratitude. Pain has a way of pulling us into the past or projecting us into the future, replaying memories, imagining regrets, and weaving stories of what could have been. But gratitude does the opposite. It anchors us in the now. When you choose to bring gratitude into moments of pain, you are not denying your suffering, you are transforming your relationship with it. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it gives it purpose. It opens the heart to see beyond the immediate wound and into the deeper lesson, the awakening that pain is trying to deliver. In doing so, gratitude becomes the alchemy that turns suffering into wisdom and despair into strength. In the darkest moments, gratitude acts as a light that reveals what still remains whole within you. When everything feels uncertain, gratitude reminds you that your breath is still steady, that your spirit still endures, that life continues to flow through you. This recognition shifts your energy from victimhood to empowerment. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" gratitude teaches you to ask, "What is this teaching me?" That single shift in perception begins the healing process. It pulls your attention from resistance to acceptance, from fragmentation to wholeness. To turn pain into presence, you must allow yourself to feel it fully, without judgment, and then look for what remains sacred within it. Maybe your heartbreak awakened a deeper capacity for love. Maybe your failure taught you humility and resilience. Maybe your loss deepened your appreciation for life's impermanence. Gratitude reframes pain not as punishment, but as transformation. When you say thank you, even through tears, you reclaim your power from the circumstance and give it back to your consciousness. You remember that you are not the wound. You are the awareness holding it. Practicing gratitude in moments of pain also reconnects you with your true self, the part of you that cannot be broken. The more you lean into gratitude, the more you awaken that silent strength within, the part that watches without collapsing, that loves without condition, that endures without bitterness. This is how pain becomes presence, by meeting it with appreciation for what it reveals about your depth, your courage, and your ability to rise. Gratitude brings you out of resistance and into alignment with life's greater rhythm. In the end, gratitude transforms pain into sacred growth. It teaches you that even in suffering, you are supported, even in loss, you are expanding, even in endings, something beautiful is being reborn. The very act of saying thank you in the face of adversity aligns you with divine grace. And that grace turns your wounds into wisdom, your sorrow into serenity, and your pain into presence. For gratitude does not just heal the heart, it awakens the soul. Chapter 9. Living in Continuous Thankfulness. True gratitude isn't a fleeting emotion that comes and goes with circumstances. It's a way of being. It's a continuous state of awareness that recognizes the sacred in the ordinary, the beauty in the mundane, and the perfection in every unfolding moment. Living in continuous thankfulness means living with your heart open, seeing life not through the lens of what's missing, but through the abundance that already surrounds you. It's the ability to wake each morning and say, "This moment is enough." That simple awareness begins to change everything. The energy of thankfulness attracts more to be thankful for, creating a self-sustaining cycle of joy, peace, and expansion. When you live in gratitude, even the smallest details become miracles. The sunlight through your window, the breath that fills your lungs, the people who love you, all become sacred reminders of life's generosity. This awareness slows you down, softens your energy, and deepens your connection to the present. You begin to move through the world with reverence rather than rush, with appreciation rather than expectation. Gratitude becomes your prayer, your perspective, and your protection, a gentle shield that keeps negativity and lack consciousness from taking root in your heart. Continuous thankfulness doesn't mean pretending life is perfect. It means seeing perfection within the imperfection. It's about finding value in the contrast, understanding that both joy and pain serve your awakening. When challenges come, gratitude becomes your anchor. It helps you remember that every experience, no matter how difficult, carries wisdom that's shaping your evolution. This mindset turns life into a dialogue between you and the universe, one where every moment, whether pleasant or painful, is an invitation to say, "Thank you for teaching me." Living in gratitude also heightens your vibrational frequency. It shifts your energy field into coherence, where your thoughts, emotions, and actions align harmoniously with abundance. People who practice gratitude consistently often notice synchronicities, opportunities, and blessings appearing effortlessly in their lives. This is not coincidence, it's resonance. Gratitude signals to the universe that you are already fulfilled, and in return, the universe mirrors that fulfillment back to you in infinite ways. Ultimately, continuous thankfulness is the art of living awake. It's realizing that every moment, even the simplest, is a gift. It's the silent smile that comes when you realize that life is not happening to you, but for you. And when gratitude becomes your default state, peace becomes your natural rhythm. You stop chasing happiness and start embodying it. You stop seeking miracles and start living them. Because gratitude doesn't just open doors, it turns your entire life into one. Chapter 10. Becoming the frequency of gratitude itself. There comes a point when gratitude is no longer something you practice. It becomes something you are. You stop making lists of what you're thankful for and instead begin to embody thankfulness as your natural vibration. You start existing in a state where appreciation flows through you effortlessly, not as an effort of the mind, but as the song of the soul. This is the moment you transcend gratitude as an act and merge with it as an identity. You become the frequency of gratitude itself, a living magnet of light, love, and abundance. When you reach this state, gratitude is no longer dependent on conditions. You're not grateful because things are going well. Things begin going well because you are grateful. Your inner world becomes the tuning fork that harmonizes your outer reality. You begin to notice that life mirrors your vibration. People treat you with more kindness. Opportunities unfold without struggle, and even when challenges arise, you move through them with calm certainty. It's not that you're blind to pain, it's that you now see through it, understanding that everything, even discomfort, is serving your expansion. Becoming the frequency of gratitude also means dissolving separation. You no longer see yourself as apart from life, waiting for it to bless you. You are life, and gratitude becomes the pulse through which creation moves. Every breath becomes a prayer of thank you. Every interaction, a chance to radiate peace. This frequency elevates not only your consciousness, but the vibration of those around you. Your energy becomes contagious. Your presence alone begins to heal, inspire, and awaken others. Gratitude, when embodied, becomes a force of transformation greater than any words could express. In this elevated state, manifestation happens naturally. You no longer need to attract because you are aligned with everything you desire. Gratitude bridges the gap between wanting and having, between effort and ease. The moment you feel the wholeness of what already is, you step into the reality where abundance, love, and purpose flow without resistance. You stop chasing miracles and start existing as one. Gratitude is not a tool, it is a state of creation itself, the divine language that speaks directly to the universe. To become the frequency of gratitude is to become untouchable by fear. You begin to live from the heart, guided by trust, fueled by appreciation, and grounded in peace. You no longer wake up searching for reasons to be grateful. You wake up as gratitude. Every moment becomes a reflection of your divine partnership with existence. You understand that nothing is missing, because everything, including you, is part of the same infinite whole. This is the highest truth. When you are the frequency of gratitude, you don't wait for life to bless you. Your very presence is the blessing. Conclusion. Gratitude is more than a practice. It's a remembrance. It's remembering who you truly are, beneath the noise, beneath the fear, beneath the illusions of lack. It's the awareness that everything you've ever sought was never separate from you. Gratitude brings you home, to presence, to peace, to truth. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's eternal. And in that shift, you awaken the creative power that has always lived within your heart. When you live in gratitude, you rise above circumstance. The world may still turn with its challenges, but you no longer spin with it. You stand rooted in a deeper knowing that life is working for you, not against you. Every sunrise becomes a miracle, every breath becomes a gift, and every experience, whether it feels joyous or painful, becomes part of a greater unfolding of your soul's evolution. Gratitude gives you eyes to see meaning where others see chaos, and peace where others see uncertainty. This is the secret of the frequency of gratitude. It's not about waiting for reasons to be thankful. It's about realizing that thankfulness itself creates the reasons. When your heart beats in alignment with appreciation, you open portals of possibility, clarity, and divine support. The more you give thanks, the more life gives you to be thankful for. You begin to move in harmony with the universe, effortlessly, magnetically, gracefully. So as you walk away from this message, carry this truth with you. Gratitude is not a momentary emotion. It's your natural state. Practice it until it becomes effortless, until every thought, every action, and every breath hums with appreciation. Let gratitude be your prayer in silence, your perspective in chaos, and your language in love. Because the day you stop doing gratitude and start being it, your world will never be the same again. And if this message touched your heart today, remember, you are part of a growing community of awakened souls on Summary Shelf, where we explore timeless truths that transform the way you think, feel, and live. So take a moment right now, like this video, share it with someone who needs light, and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of deep reflection and soul awakening. Because your journey to higher consciousness begins with one simple word: thank you.